Hey, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time you might be watching this thing. My name's Doug, and I help good men leave an inheritance to their children's children. We're going to talk about excuse number two or story number two that I get, and I get this one unbelievably a lot more than what you'd probably think, and a lot more than I probably want. And I think it's ridiculous that some people would actually say this to me, but they do. And so we're going to talk we're going to dive right in. I was talking about life insurance the other day on Facebook, and a guy reached out to me, and it's been more than one guy that said this to me. And it's always Christians. It's always broke. That's about as far as I'll go. It's just broke Christians, and a lot of Christians are just broke, and they're going around saying that God is, He owns everything, and He's awesome, and He's all powerful. Yet they cannot and refuse to make the right decisions. And that's just, if you don't like that, I'm sorry, but I'm putting it out there. Refuse to make the right decisions to prepare for their family. And so I was talking about life insurance with this guy, a believer, and he actually had the audacity to say this to me. You're not going to believe it. I promise you, you're not going to believe it. But he did. Well, maybe you will believe it, because there's a lot of people that feel this way, and it's absolutely insane. It's asinine and pretty darn stupid. And notice I hadn't said any cuss words yet, so yay me. But he said this to me. He said, when I die, Jesus is the only insurance that my family needs. Real holy like, and just full of BS is what it is. Jesus is the only insurance that your family needs. Let me tell you clearly. Let me speak as clearly as I possibly can what happens to your family when you're preaching Jesus all the time and you die and they are left without anything. Let me tell you what happens. First off, you die, they cry. They're grieving. They're sad. They're upset. They go to the funeral home. Usually it's a pastor that takes them down to the funeral home or a friend. They get down there and they realize that first off, they've got to come up with about $15,000. They check their bank account and there's about $100 in it because you didn't prepare. They've got all this debt, all these bills. They start checking around, trying to find savings account, investments, life insurance policies. And lo and behold, you didn't prepare ahead enough time and get them and secure a life insurance policy so that they could grieve properly. So here's what happens. After about a couple of days, you're dead, you're buried, you're gone. The wife starts getting angry, and the wife gets angry at you, and the children start resenting you, and they have to call on grandma and grandpa and the church and friends and sisters and brothers just to get a little help to get food and maybe pay the house payment. That's what happens. They go from loving you, grieving you, mad at you, hating you, not loving Jesus, not loving God, away from the church, turning their back on all those things because you had that audacity to have a thought process. Jesus is the only insurance they need. We need to be better than that. Men, we need to grow up and be the men of our home, the men of our families, the men of our city, and stop all this insane nonsense. Prepare, prepare, prepare. Listen, I'm going to say just give me a couple more minutes. Listen to me. Insurance is nothing more than leverage. Leverage. Leverage that $50, $100, $150 a month, whatever it is. Leverage that amount of money every month so that your family will be well taken care of when you're gone. They're not going to have to worry for anything. And even go beyond that and leave them an inheritance. You can do that. You don't have to save and save and save and save and save and then leave them a big savings account. You can if you want. But the easiest way to do that is just to take a couple $100 a month and invest it in a good life insurance policy. And then your children can enjoy it, and they'll always, always, always. You're gone, you're in heaven, and they're down here calling you blessed because you got prepared. My name's Doug. I help good men leave an inheritance for their children's children. God bless you guys. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.